TD, mug of the day. This is from TJ Maxx. I love this gold thing, you know? It reminds me of like a tablecloth, like a southern kind of tablecloth, like the stripes, the crisscross. It's so cute. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my favorite brushes. So like their uses, what they're used for, that's the same thing as their uses. I'll probably even list the prices while you're watching this video, so I'll probably stick it somewhere on the screen so you guys can see how much I paid for the brushes. So let's get started. Okay, so now I'm just going to talk about the brushes in order from like how I apply makeup on my face. So the first brush, this is by It Cosmetics. This is the airbrush blurring foundation brush. So okay, so side note, they're all pretty much wet because I actually just washed them. They were due for a cleaning, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make a brush video because, you know, I just need to. I need to make a brush video. Okay, so this brush is awesome for applying liquid foundation. All I do is just like pump it on the back of my hand and I'll just dip it and I'll like pat it on. I'll like start buffing it in and then I'll pat it to make sure there's no streaks in it. This brush was actually given to me by my mother-in-law, Cheryl. She was so sweet. She went like, you know, everybody goes through stages of like brushes and stuff like that, and she just, you know, had a bunch of brushes that she wasn't using as much, so she just handed me a bunch of them. This was one of them and it is one of my favorites. So thank you, Cheryl, because this brush is amazing. Okay, so my next favorite brush, this is the Morphe M439. I actually have two of those because, again, my mother-in-law Cheryl had an extra one, so she gave it to me. But this one is really good for liquid foundation. It's also really good for powder foundation. I'm not a big, you know, powder foundation person. I probably should. I feel like I wear a lot of liquid foundation. It's probably really bad for my skin. So I should probably, you know, every once in a while let it breathe. It'll be really high coverage if I do it with a fat, short, little stippling brush. It's dense and it'll pick up a lot more product and distribute it evenly across the face. Yes, yes. Okay, so for my next brush, this, I seriously cannot live without this brush. I cannot go one day without using this exact brush. This is the Morphe E3. The Elite Collection by Morphe is incredible. I know they just revamped the entire Elite Collection. So this brush, if you buy it right now, I think the packaging will look different. I think this is more of a, the metal is more of a gun metal. I know they have the same original brushes. I think they just added more and then they just revamped the whole, you know, style of it. But, so this is the E4. This is an amazing powder brush. I'll just put my, or like dip it in my setting powder and I'll just like dust it all over it, and it's just, I really can't live without this brush. Like, it's so soft. It's like the perfect shape. It's like, you know, tall in the middle and then it's like tapered on the edges. Oh, I love this brush. I love it. Love it. E4, Morphe. Okay, so for my next brush, this is the E48, also in the Morphe Elite Collection. This is just basically a littler version of this one. They're basically the exact same brush, just smaller. This brush is really good for setting my under eyes or setting my eyelids before I put foundation or eyeshadow on. It's just really nice and it's just the perfect size and it can pick up a lot of product, and you know, I like this one. E4, E48, really good brush. Okay, so the next brush I've used in pretty much every single one of my videos. This is the M527. You can't really see it in my background. Can you see it against my shirt? Okay, it's the Morphe M527. It's just a goat hair tapered. It's kind of flat, but then it's like wide. I don't know, kind of weird. But I always use it for bronzing up the face. I just really like this brush. The only thing about this brush is that I can't use my normal soap that I use to clean this one. My amazing sister-in-law Nicole introduced me to the Zote soap. I don't know how you say it. Anyway, it's amazing. It's like a couple bucks or $1 or something like that for like a huge brick. of it, and it's amazing to clean off any of your brushes, but I do not recommend using it on natural hair or goat hair brushes because it makes them really frizzy, and it changes the texture of the brushes. So just you know, just a disclaimer. Yeah, it's just, I recommend using a baby shampoo. That's the best for cleaning natural haired brushes. Other than that, this brush is amazing. Anyway, yes, very good bronzing brush by Morphe. Yes. Okay, so the next brush is also by Morphe. Yes, they're just my favorite brushes ever in the world. This is the Morphe E4. This is an angled brush. I think this is actually titled as the angled contour brush, but I use it as the angled blush brush. It just applies blush perfectly. I don't know, I really do love it. I know that Morphe sells a bunch of different blush brushes, but this is by far my favorite brush to apply blush. I feel like I'm just like ramen up in here, you know? Anyway, yes, very good brush, amazing, applies it evenly. Like no matter how much you can pack on the brush, like the darkest of pigmented blushes, it'll still just put like a soft coat on it, and that way it's like buildable, and you like don't like put like just a huge pink stamp on your face and you're like, dang it, like how do I fix this? This is an amazing brush. I definitely recommend this brush, yes. Okay, so this next brush is my absolute favorite brush of all time. Probably, I love it more than this powder brush, the E4 or E3. I don't know if you're ready for it. I think I've already talked about it in one of my videos, but this is Morphe E1. This is just a gigantic, fat brush. It's so soft and so thick and so dense, and I would use it every single day. Like I don't go a day without using this. I use it to just buff out any sharp lines. I call it my blurring brush. I know I've said that before. I know, I'm just like a broken record, but this brush is amazing. I seriously cannot explain it enough. This is the part of the Elite collection, and this is the biggest brush in the Elite collection. That's probably why it's the E1. Yes. Okay, so now getting into the smaller face brushes. So this is the Luxie 512. I got this in my BoxyCharm. This brush is really nice. It's like long and then flat at the end. I use it as a contour my cheeks, contour my nose. It's just an all-around good brush. Like you can use it for contouring your cheeks, your nose, your forehead. You could use it to set powder, even though it's kind of flat at the end. I mean, it's nice. I really like it. Thank you, BoxyCharm. You're the best. You're the best. So the next brush is the M501 by Morphe. And I just use it to apply highlight on my nose and my cupid's bow, chin, and up here. Let's just be honest, I pretty much put highlight all over my face. Okay? Just being honest here. Really good brush for highlighting. It's a small brush, but it's not super dense, so it just puts like a light coat of whatever kind of highlight you want. It's a good brush. I really like it. So the last brush that I use for my face, it's the Morphe M459. It's just a flat, very flat, sharp, very dense, thin brush. I'll use it to have like a sharp contour on my nose, put setting powder under my contour, that way it sharpens up my contour. It's just a really good brush. I really like it, but I usually use it for nose contouring, and it's awesome. Okay, so now switching gears into the eyes and eye brushes. So for concealer, I really like this tiny itty bitty little brush. This is by Real Techniques. This is the detailing brush. It's just really good. It's like really firm, you know, like it's firm. I use it for my concealer, and I just put it like underneath my brow bone. I'll use it to sharpen up my winged liner. Like it's just a really all around good tiny itty bitty little concealer brush. It gets it really precise and sharp, and I just really like that. So Real Techniques detailing brush. So now I'm just going to start my eye brushes with just like how I apply makeup on my face. So first I apply like my base color, so it's usually always white or just like a light beige. And this is the Morphe E22. This is also part of the Elite collection. No, there's powder in my brush. Can you see the powder? Can you see it? Can you see it? Anyway, I always use this just for my light white colors that I just set my whole lid, and then I go in with my transition and my bright colors and that kind of thing. But this is always the brush that I use to put that powder on first. It's just, I mean, I really like it. It's dense. It's not, I mean, it's like a big eye brush compared to like some brushes, but it's really nice to just put all that powder on first hand, and then you can go in with your other colors. But this brush is awesome. Really, really, really great brush. And if you don't want to use it as just like a setting powder kind of brush, you can use it as just like a blending brush. It would work really well in the crease. Like, it's a really good brush. So next, okay, so I use this brush in pretty much every one of my videos. This is the Luxie 205 tapered blending brush. This is awesome for any kind of, you know, blending in the crease, like my transition color. It's just, it works really well. It actually looks a lot like the contouring Luxie brush that I use. They look almost identical, just smaller. But it's a really, really good brush to just get like a even coat, like it really blends out any kind of eyeshadow or crease color really, really well. That's probably why I love it so much. It's awesome. So next, also a blending brush. You can't see anything with my background. This is the Morphe M441. It's just, seriously, I need to like hold it up against my shirt so you like can see it. It's also a natural head brush, just like the contouring / bronzing brush that I use. It's just really, really nice to fluff out any kind of color in your crease or any kind of just any color really. It's a really good brush. I really like it. So that, yes, that's the Morphe M441. Okay, so the next brush is the Morphe E18, also part of the Elite collection. It's just an itty bitty tiny little, can you even focus? It's just a tiny little crease brush. It is so dense and it can put so much color pigmented in one spot, but it also can blend it out really well. Like it's just, it's a really good crease brush. And I also use it to smoke out my lower lash line. It's just a really great, great brush. So the next brush is by Beauty Society. This is the Beauty Society's crease brush. So this is, let's zoom in here, see it a little bit. So this brush is also wet. So, I mean, this is basically the exact shape it takes. It's really firm and dense. But yes, I did wash them and they're wet. Anyway, this one is really dense at the base, and then it kind of gets a lot softer as it gets to the tip. It kind of gets sharp, and it can put the sharpest cut crease ever. I really like this brush. This brush was sent to me by the amazing Angelyna. She works with Beauty Society, and she sent me this goodie box or a goodie package full of a bunch of stuff. So that was really sweet of her. Thank you, Angelyna, if you're watching this. Anyway, this brush is awesome. I probably will purchase more of the Beauty Society brushes just to see how they are, but I really, really like this crease brush. Really like it, and I use it every single day. Next is my Morphe M432. It's just a flat, like, smudger brush. I'm gonna zoom in for the. It's just a flat smudger brush. It's really good with getting really close. Focus. It's really good to get up really close to the waterline and like pressing in and just putting darker colors there. Or, I mean, it's just, it's a really good brush, and I think I use it all the time. Like I'll dip it in like black shadow, and then I'll like set my eyeliner with it so my eyeliner will last longer, or I'll use it to smoke out my eyeliner, my like winged liner or whatever. It's a really good brush. Like I love this brush. Okay, so the last brush that we have to talk about is a smudger brush by Skone. I think this came in an Ipsy. Can we zoom in here? It's just a small smudger brush by Skone. I'll use it to highlight my inner corner. I'll use it to highlight my brow bone. I'll use it to smudge out my lower lash line. It's just, it's a really good brush. Or I'll use it to like pack on really dark pigment in my outer corner. Like, it's just a really, really good brush, and I can use it for a bunch of different things. And I love it. It's awesome. I'm really sorry if I look at myself a lot in the viewfinder. It gets so focused like on my background, so it's like hard to like I need to make sure it's focused on my face and not my background. So I apologize if I look at my viewfinder a lot. Okay, I think that's it for my brushes. I think that's it. I love talking about brushes. I just love brushes in general. Love them. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This video was so fun and quick and easy. Probably not quick to watch. It's probably going to end up being quite a long video. But, you know, these are just the brushes that I love and use the most and are my absolute favorites out of all of the brushes that I own. These are my ride or die brushes. They're just awesome. I can't go one day without using pretty much all of these. It's probably dramatic. These are just my all-time favorite brushes of all time. I love them, I love them, I love them. I can't go one day that I put my makeup on and I don't use these brushes because they are amazing. Love them, love them, love them, love them. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Okay. No hands. Is that the words?